Oh, that's all. What is up, guys? Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. How was your weekend, Megan?
It was great. How was your weekend?
It was amazing.
Good.
Recharged. I don't know if you can see. I'm getting tan out here this summer.
You are getting
this summer. And you know what's crazy? I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but when I was younger, I could never tan my face. My face always was like the palest part of my body.
Really?
But oddly enough, as I'm getting older and I hit my 30s, now I'm getting a tan face, which I'm happy about. So shout out to that.
John, you need to use sunscreen.
Nah, sunscreen. No, I'm just kidding. I do. I use a light one. And I don't reapply. But okay, happy Monday, guys. We got a lot coming on in the pipe today. Also, very excited. We have our first Rise and Grind special guest coming on in. We can't tell you who yet. You'll see them very shortly. But let's kick it off, Megan. What do we got on the pipe today? Talk to us.
Okay, so of course Threads came out pretty recently, and they are a huge Twitter competitor. And now Twitter is rebranding to X, and the logo with the bird is no more. They don't have that blue logo anymore.
Stop it. The bird's gone.
The bird is gone. And Elon tweeted something along those lines. Actually, the bird is no more. Instead, we're seeing the X, and the actual icon on your phone looks very similar to Threads. It's the black background, the white outline. So they're really trying to step it up. Now, Elon tweeted that the new X logo is said to embody the imperfections in us all that make us unique. So he's really looking for the platform to be all-encompassing and then also welcoming to everybody.
Don't you just love, though? I love and hate how deep they get for this stuff. Like, really, you want to make a social icon because we're, as humans, imperfect. We're imperfect. Like, I get it. And also, it's like, dude, it's just a social media platform.
It's just a social media
Like, why are you getting that into it?
Yeah, it's very interesting, though. We'll see what else is to come. Obviously, he wants the app to be the one-stop shop for everything that you need, really. It's an all-encompassing app.
Right.
So,
well, you said last week that they were looking to do job hire and job postings on X.
On X.
Former Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The social verse is nuts right now. I mean, there's so much happening. It's like
just
chaotic.
So competitive.
Oh, my goodness. But additionally, though, if you're watching this, I want you to put in the comments what your thoughts are about Twitter, Elon, this whole rebrand, what's been going on with Threads. Give us a little comment in there. Let us know what you think about all that's going on right now. What do we have next over there, Megs?
All right. So Twitter is rebranding and Threads is seeing a significant decline in usage. So Threads has faced a decline in daily active users. They were at 117 million users, and now they're seeing people sign up, but not many people actually use the platform, which is an opportunity for.
Well, because we all signed up for it, right? And we all were like, we're going to sign up for Threads, not knowing or thinking anything like, this is going to be cool, whatever. And it's just another app. People are still, if you're a marketer or a brand, you're using it. But it's like, realistically, it's like most people that I know, at least that I talk to, aren't utilizing it as much.
No.
And when our guest gets here, we're going to ask our guest if he uses Threads or not, because he has a great brand. But I think the thing is that it was overhyped, and
it's basic. That's how the platform's being described as.
It is basic.
It is. It's so
basic.
Well,
Twitter's basic.
Right. Well, not anymore. They're trying to make it
basic.
Yeah.
X is basic.
So we'll see what's to come. The app's popularity right now is really strong in India and Brazil, which are emerging mobile markets. So it's pointing to more opportunity for Twitter and knowing where to target and who to target. So
So we're gonna change it up. So we're gonna ask our guest real quick. So Rob, slide over to our guest now. Put him on camera. Let's get him on. Bam! That's right there. There he is. My guy Sal's in the building. What's up, brother?
Thanks for having me.
So right now we're talking about Threads. How often are you using it?
So I think like a lot of people, I don't know. I just read something recently that active users I think is down. But anyway, like a lot of people, when Threads first came out, I was like, oh shit, another app. I got to be first to it. I got to start posting, and I did. And I haven't posted on Threads.
When's the last time you posted? The first few days you had it?
First few days I had
Me too.
it, but I might have put something up there like a couple of days ago about a property that I sold or something, just because I was, in the posting mode. But anyway, I saw something and I was like, wow, this actually makes a lot of sense. And they said Threads is kind of like just a modern day chat room. Remember chat rooms? There's like and it's like
yes, I do remember that.
And the reason why I never got into Twitter, and I know Twitter is huge. The reason why I never got into Twitter is just for the same fact of like I feel like I don't know what the hell's going on because I can only see like the things that just happened, and
Right.
I don't know. To me, I don't love it, but I am also not naive to the fact you got to be everywhere, right? So
I'm right there with you. And honestly, the thing is, I think most people aren't utilizing, like, if you're not a business or a brand, you're just a normal person. Typically, when you're on Twitter to like watch celebrities and like watch politicians, yeah, like and that stuff. But like a lot of times, I don't know about you, like how often do you go on Facebook?
So I'm on Facebook. I don't scroll Facebook
Yeah.
a lot, but I'm on there often putting content out just
Right.
because my audience, I'm a real estate broker, I sell houses, and so it's a slightly older demographic on Facebook.
True.
So that works for me because give me all the 50, 60-year-old clients.
Bring them in.
So that's why I post on Facebook.
Right.
But I'm not really consuming Facebook content more than maybe like a total of a half hour a day.
So where do you get your news from?
So
Social wise.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's through social media, but I guess it's an array of different platforms. You know, from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok. TikTok's pretty educational.
It is. Honestly, Chris uses it so hardcore. It's nuts.
For educational purposes, but in terms of like news wise, that's a good question. I guess it's just accumulation of.
So
all
whichever
platforms.
channel you're on.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite out of those 3 channels that you like the best?
I would say that I still lean towards Instagram.
IG. I'm an old school IG guy too. I like TikTok now, but again, it's like my home base.
Yeah. I think I go to different apps for different things, right?
Right.
Like if I'm in the mood to like learn about some shit and like see some funny things, I'll go to TikTok.
See, that's so crazy to me. Do you use TikTok for that?
Yeah.
So our chief operating officer, Chris, he was saying how like, because I'm like YouTube, education guy. Yeah. I have to go to YouTube to learn literally everything, right?
I like that too.
Yeah. But what he was saying is, he goes, I like TikTok better because when you go to TikTok, you watch the video in 30 seconds.
And what's different about TikTok that I really enjoy is like, don't get me wrong, I love educational stuff on YouTube.
Right.
But you've got to physically search for it. Whereas
Totally.
TikTok, you may search for something, right? And you watch that video, but then the next video, they're going to throw at you based on what they think you want to see. And you get, sometimes I learned some really cool shit that I would have never thought about searching for. And I'm like, wow, that was cool.
Right.
It
just popped up.
Yeah.
So love that. And then, so what do you think right now? Like, what is I'm just curious, in your world, are you seeing in the real estate game, like, as the best channel, right? So part of us bringing our guy Sal Ventre here is just to kind of bring in, the perspective of real estate and social use and the channels. Like, what do you see as the best channel for agents? And our teams.
Again, I think if you have to pick one or two, I would say Facebook, Instagram, just because they're extremely widely used. But I do know that you can get a lot of really good, depending on your strategy and what you're posting, you can get a lot of really good traction and lead opportunities and just business opportunities through YouTube. And that's because a lot of realtors aren't on there.
Right.
And if they are on there, they might not have the greatest of strategies. But I know a particular realtor that's in Texas right now, and he absolutely crushes it because he really niched down into one particular area, one location. And not only does he do property tours for all of the stuff there, but he also is constantly he's basically like the media person for that neighborhood in Texas, right? Like he's constantly showcasing different businesses and what's going on in the school systems and events go around town. And so like, if you type in this location in Texas, you're going to see his YouTube videos. You can't. And what's cool about it is he titles a lot of stuff like, why should I move to X Texas? Why shouldn't I move to this place, Texas? Right? Because if you're going to move somewhere new, you're going to Google that probably. Totally. Right. And his stuff pops up. So I think if you're utilizing it right, YouTube's really cool. And what's cool about YouTube is, just like we were saying before with threads, where you could post something and an hour later it's lost in the timeline and gone. Right. YouTube, that stuff stays pretty prominent if certain people are searching for it. Right. So I think that's good.
That's a big golden nugget, guys. So, and dude, when I was considering moving to the city, like I was YouTubing different what you would call it, boroughs and stuff. Yeah. And looking at all the different neighborhoods. And I think that's a good idea. It's a great idea, especially going to a new place. Okay, great. So Rob, back over here, we're going to come back to my guy Sal in a sec. But so talk to us about Barbie right now. What's going on with this Barbie? You see all that stuff going on with Barbie right now?
Are you interested in Barbie at all?
Me now.
A lot of people aren't, but a lot of brands are. Barbie actually has over 100 brand partnerships right now. And the mention of Barbie has risen 80% on YouTube and 191% on TikTok. Now,
Wow.
brands are finding ways to tie a connection to Barbie, even if they already had the product available. As an example, Crocs released their pink Crocs are now Barbie Crocs, but they had pink Crocs beforehand. Same thing with Barbie nail polish. OPI released this nail polish. They had pink beforehand. Now they slapped Barbie's name on it, and it's selling even more. And there's even a Barbie version of Uno. So regardless of the industry that you're in, Uno. And it's just a pink deck of cards. Really, there's nothing too special about it. But they, again, are capitalizing on Barbie. So think about ways that you can jump on different movie releases or social events that are taking place, because the hype around Barbie is really skyrocketing all of these other small businesses.
But you know what though, and we'll ask our guest over here in a second, but I almost feel again Barbie is an iconic, brand that from even like when we were all younger and stuff, like you just remember Barbie and Ken and all stuff like that. But I wonder how big this color pink has played into their branding and marketing that makes it so electric. Like I saw this thing where they're on, I forget which channel it is. There's like a home network channel. I don't know if it's HGTV or whatever, but they're doing like a Barbie like home, like they're essentially.
There's an Airbnb. They're talking about that.
I think so. No, it's like they're building their own Barbie house.
Oh wow.
And so like it's everywhere, right? But it's like, but everywhere you look for anything that's being promoted, it's just that pink. Mm-hmm. That pink is everywhere. Right. So I wonder how big into like just the brand of that matters.
And I'm sure that that's a Barbie pink, so they have licensing around that. Right, so they're also profiting
their
from
own
all
hex
of these
code. Their own
right.
hex code. Sheesh. Let's go back to Sal real quick. Get some of his thoughts on that.
Yeah. So I'm a big,
big Barbie guy.
Big Barbie guy. No, I'm a big believer in associating a brand with a color. I think I was talking to John about that recently. I'm going through somewhat of that myself. But I think to touch on your point earlier too, of like piggybacking off of the momentum that Barbie has had. Did you see Ryan Reynolds recently sold a company that he built? No, not Mint. He started a company.
The alcohol brand?
No, it was an advertising agency, and basically he started this advertising agency a few years back, sold it for like hundreds of millions of dollars, and the entire premise around the agency was if you're going to work with them, you have to let them basically pick what their advertisements were, but the advertisements were solely geared around the most trending thing that's going on that day, and they would spin it to piggyback off all of that attention. So I do think that it's a really beneficial thing to do, and it's a good way to kind of like hack attention if you don't already have it, because Barbie's everywhere, right? So absolutely. I could have a brand that's completely unrelated to Barbie, but utilize it somehow in my advertising or photos or something like that.
I love that.
And gain attention that I probably wouldn't have had
otherwise. So we should, where we fucked up? We should have I'm going to come in as Ken, have a handkerchief.
You should have like a big pink green screen.
Totally. What are we doing back here? Rob,
let's start all over again.
But no, we're going to, on next Monday, we're going in, if you're watching this, next Monday, we're coming in Barbie and Ken dressed up. I don't know what you're going to have to worry about. I'm going to have to get like a handkerchief on my neck. I'm going to bleach my hair blonde for it. It's going to be great. But no, I think that's a great point though. And you know what? Like a lot of the brands that are able to do that, it's so interesting. So we're working with this guy who, was the former VP of marketing at Unilever. And he talks about how like all these major brands, like they're so anxious and nervous about how quickly the world is changing and turning and moving that they want to just adapt, and get into it. And seeing Barbie do this, I think it's going to be a refresh for a lot of companies because it's like it's just everywhere.
Right.
So here's a real question: are you going to go see it?
I'll probably wait to watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, I think so. I think me too. What about you? You and Angelica took Julian.
She already went.
Yeah. Rob won.
My daughter's not old enough yet. Otherwise,
That's true. That's true. Are you going to go see it?
Absolutely.
When are you going to see it?
I have no idea, but I'm going to go see it.
Okay, so that's good. So while we're on you, Rob, Sal. So I guess I have a couple questions, right? So like this segment is really about just like the real estate market trends that's going on in the world right now, at least locally. Where do you see everything going right now? Like with the housing market, and everybody has different predictions. I'm just curious what yours is.
So obviously, like you said, I think the keyword is locally, because our real estate market here at the Jersey Shore is unlike many markets throughout the country.
Right.
So, on a national scale, things might be totally different than they are right here. But in the Jersey Shore, what we're seeing is still incredibly low inventory, still incredibly high demand, which is how real estate is priced, right? And so if there's always more, if there's more buyers than there are homes for sale, we're not going to see prices come down. And I've been having this conversation over and over and over. And people are like, people assume that prices have to come down just because they've been high enough for long enough. But unfortunately, it's just not the way that it works. It's totally due to supply and demand. And so me or any of the experts that I communicate with and talk to regularly, no one is predicting prices to come down anytime soon. And in fact, we're probably going to see another surge of prices over the next 6 to 12 months going into next spring due to a few reasons. Number one, number one, there's been a lot of buyer fatigue over the last couple of years. First, people were kind of fatigued and just kind of over the bidding wars and the nonstop prices rising, and they were waiting for it to stop. There was also people fatigue about in the last 12 months about interest rates rising and let me wait until they drop back down. And both of those things are now at a point where people are kind of saying, well, you know what, it is what it is at this point. And prices are probably going to keep going up and rates may never come down. And so let's kind of just bite the bullet. Let's suck it up and get back into it, because a lot of people forget most real estate transactions occur around major life events where they have to occur. Most people don't buy and sell homes for fun. They do it because they had children and they need to upsize, or they got divorced and they need to move, or they got relocated. There's many reasons why people buy and sell homes that eventually they have to do it. And it's been a couple years now that people have been speculating and on the sidelines, waiting for prices to come down, waiting for rates to come down. And everyone is kind of expecting that very soon people are going to kind of just throw up their arms and say, well, you know what, it is what it is. I got to get in the game at some point. And I was speaking with a mortgage lender that I work with very closely today. He's always got his finger on the pulse. And he's saying that a lot of the people in the mortgage industry are expecting rates to come down in the fourth quarter. But I will preface it with, don't expect, 2 and 3% like we saw, coming down to like high fives, hopefully.
Right. That's the thing. And I think, because obviously, as you know, I just went through this process. That's what I was hearing is people we may never see 2.5 again
probably
in our lifetime.
Right. Yeah.
Probably and for people out there that are watching that, what made that happen?
That's a little above.
Well, right. What I mean, just from a perspective of is that government related?
So,
is it
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's definitely government related. There was a huge just influx of new cash during COVID because they wanted to stimulate the economy. You know what I mean? And they brought rates down to stimulate the economy and get people out and buying. And I think, I assume that they didn't expect it to create such a crazy whirlwind like it did. And then they were artificially raised again due to the government to try to slow things down and rebalance everything out. Because, for most businesses, a balanced real estate market is a healthy real estate market, right? We don't want to see rates too high. We don't want to see them extremely too low. We don't want to see prices shooting up 20% year over year, but we also don't want to see them declining. So a healthy, balanced real estate market is good for everybody. So I think they've been trying to get to that point. And I think we're starting to stabilize a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
That's good to know. So for people out there I think you gave me good advice when I had buyer fatigue recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm getting out of this. This is ridiculous. And you want to share? So if you're somebody out there who's looking to buy a house, or you're in one of the phases of life that Sal mentioned, like growing your family or buying your first home, or whatever. I said to Sal, I was like, I'm over this because it was just too nuts. And then Sal dropped this on me.
Yeah, no, I was just like, hey, look, John, do what you got to do. It's your money. I would never tell you how to spend it. But if it were me, I would suck it up and buy a house today, because the homes that you're looking for, I know it feels, that's a big problem. A lot of people, they look at the prices of homes and they're like, this is overpriced. This isn't worth it.
Right.
But compared to what? Compared to what your standards were in 2019, it's not the market anymore. Right. And so is it overpriced compared to what's going to be listed on the market next month? Probably not. And so I told John, I was like, look, as much as it sucks that this is the reality, I would bite the bullet now, get in today, because I see prices continuing to rise, especially in a higher end market,
Right.
where people might not be as affected so much and with the economy shifting. But and I think it was the right move. I think that you got a great deal on your house, and I would put any amount of money that in 12 months from now, 24 months from now, you're going to have a good amount of equity in the house.
Right. Based on that.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
You would have just paid more money.
At the higher. Right. So if you're in that place, that's you better call Sal. That's it. You better call Sal.
My advice to people right now, to keep it short and sweet, is if you're on the fence, buy real estate. And if it goes up, great. You ride the wave, you gain equity. If it goes down, buy more real estate, because historically it's going to continue to go.
Correct. Right. In most cases, that's the trend it goes into. Now we're going to take a different segment here. Right now, I want to ask you, and Megan, feel free to dive in here also. Is there, so for people out there who are like, oh, investing in real estate, whatever else, do you diversify into anything else other than real estate?
Of course. Yeah. I think it would be foolish not to. But I don't really spend too much time on other things. That's just what I know. Real estate.
Your lane.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like I'm a real estate guy. It's what I've been doing for the last 11, 12 years. And so I try to put majority of my money into real estate investments, and it is a lot of my net worth is in real estate investments. But I definitely believe in diversifying, and I think it's safer. And I think also too, you can scale quicker with other things.
That's the thing. Real estate's slower.
Yeah, it's a marathon. It's a long-term game.
Correct.
It's hard to scale that like it is, a business opportunity or something like that.
Now, are you in stocks at all?
Very minimally.
Very, very little bit. But do you do it yourself, or do you have a FA?
Actually, I have a mixture of the two. So I invest a little bit in companies that I believe in, and then I have a financial advisor that puts me in. You're very safe. They're going to go up 5 to 7% every year, no matter
safe
what.
bets,
S&P 500 type stuff.
S&P 500, as what Hermosi says.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I got two last questions for you before we let you go here. So the first is, what would you say to somebody right now who's watching, who's either a business owner, let's put it in the starting field. So somebody's just starting a business, early phase. What would be your advice to them that they should do right now based on the trends and all the things that are happening in the world right now of marketing, branding, and just building a business?
Take advantage of AI.
Of AI.
Yeah.
Yep. How are you using AI?
So I don't want to reveal all my secrets.
Hey, can't do that. He's writing his love letters to his wife on AI now.
No, AI. So AI has replaced employees for me in a sense of AI writes all of my email newsletters now. They write 99% of my home descriptions. When I list a house, I used to pay a copywriter to do that, to work with them to create a really good description. Now I just work with ChatGPT and it spits out an even better one for free, right? So
but now are you doing it where? Because I know this is the thing. So what we're learning is at adapting is the whole component of AI is how inquisitive you are with 100%. Giving the criteria. 100%. So so you're going in and you're saying, all right, I'm listing a home. Write me a listing description on this home that's a 5-bedroom, blah, blah, blah. And you have to give it all that.
Yeah, I get super descriptive on it. And then I always ask follow-up questions and critiques. Okay, now make it like this. Now shorten it. Now make it more casual. Now make it more professional. Now
so how long does that take you?
A few minutes, because literally it spits out a response in seconds.
Correct, right. That's nice. I mean, that's nice.
Yeah. And again, it has replaced, me having to pay money for something. And that's why I said, if you're a new business, rather than hiring employees and doing all this stuff and tying up a lot of your time, definitely spend a couple hours to research AI on what programs are going to be best for you and utilize that stuff. Yeah. Even for lead generation. Now, have you ever seen the new thing with a lot of influencers or people that sell different educational things and courses?
Yep.
It's like, hey, DM me this word.
Right.
And the second that you DM them the word, you get a link back. And that's all through AI and different programs that they set up that way. But you no longer need an inside salesperson. You don't need you know what I mean? So I think if you're a new business owner, you can save a lot of money and time by utilizing these programs. Yeah,
because typically in the beginning you're bootstrapping anyway, right? So you have to wear all the hats. So if you can leverage AI,
essentially
it's a great point. Correct, right? Great point. And then secondly, question is, who do you think is going to win in the fight, Zuckerberg or Musk? You got your money on. We're putting this, and we got this now stamped, recorded, ready to go. So when it happens, we're going to get Sal's prediction here. So who do you think is going to win, and how do you think they're going to win?
if they were to fight, I only think Musk would win because Andrew Tate would train him.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, he already
They're
said.
Talking?
He already said. He tweeted as soon as it happened. He said,
Stop.
He said, Musk, come to Romania. Me and my camp will train you. You will not lose.
Oh my gosh.
But did Musk respond?
I don't know.
Oh my God, that would be wild.
But Zuckerberg's been training MMA for a while, and he's got some of the best fighters training.
He
MMA
does,
now,
dude.
so
He does.
It'd be interesting. But Musk has got some weight on him.
He's got weights. They're different weight classes.
Right. It'd be interesting.
Apparently, that's already confirmed though
That
for
they're gonna
March.
fight?
Apparently, that's confirmed.
That'd be wild.
And you know what? We're reporting this is allegedly, right? We gotta say allegedly, right? But I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. We're gonna Google this real quick. Let's see.
We're saying it here now. Wow.
Here and now, live, if it happens. But you know what though? With all the drama going on between the two of them, with the Threads and Twitter beef,
Yeah.
it's such an interesting time.
They should, to be honest with you, they should fight, but they should put the money that's made towards some sort of charity.
Well, that's what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would make.
Dana White literally goes, "This is gonna be the biggest fight that the fighters don't make $1 on ever in history."
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be the biggest fight. He thinks it's gonna be the biggest grossing fight in history, point blank, like bigger than Mayweather's, bigger than all these people's. And he's like, 100%. They're not, and he goes, they're donating everything.
Yeah.
Which is so nice. I mean, they're both freaking insanely rich. Did you ever hear this? I don't know. So I forget the guy's name. I need to Google. What's that science guy's name I was telling you about? The dude who's like,
The science guy?
yes, that he's.
Not Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? Are we talking
Yes, I think
about-
that is him. Can you Google him too real quick? I just want to see.
Who?
But
Is
that him?
by the way, just a little side note, like we were talking.
Yes, him. So Neil Tyson, I'm gonna call him.
Like we were talking about jumping on trends for your own benefit.
Yeah.
Even if Andrew Tate never trains him.
Yeah.
Look at what he just did, right?
Right.
He knew that.
He
Was
jumped on the trend.
He knew that was the most trending thing,
Correct.
And jumped in and said something that he knew people would talk about him.
Right. Rob was gonna train for the rear naked. The rear naked choke, Rob. Come on. But the one thing though too. So anyway, side note, real quick, because we're talking about the money and charity and stuff. So I said this last time, but so they used Jeff Bezos as an example, and based on his billions. So this guy Neil Tyson, Neil D. Tyson, we're calling him, the scientist. He said that if you take all of Jeff Bezos' money, right, in dollar bills, and you stack it, right, in dollar bills going like this across, you could wrap around the world twice, and go to the moon and back 14 times with how much money he has in his bank account. And it's dollar bills, obviously, but still, how insane is that? Around the world twice. Like, what? Damn. But anyway, having that said, okay, so dude, thank you so much for being here today. Now we're gonna so I'll spare you this time.
Thanks.
So hit us with a little motivation Monday out there. So give us something good, resilient, kick us off the week strong. Hit us with something good here.
Oh boy. Jeez, you can't just throw me in
Gotta throw 'em on.
I feel.
And we're live right now. This is live.
Is it like a quote? Is it like
Yeah, whatever. Give us a Sally original.
Oh my gosh.
He's like,
Motivation
live, laugh,
Monday.
love.
Yeah. Live, laugh, love. Motivation Monday. Jeez, you can't do this to me, man.
Guys, come on.
Look, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think with the way that the world is getting as crazy as it is, who the hell knows what's going to happen tomorrow, next year, 5-10 years from now. So while we're here, while the world is running, and you've got this time on Earth, you better make the most of it, because it can end at any second. And the last thing that I want to do is leave this Earth without using every single bit of my full potential. So get out there. Use every bit of what you got in the tank, what was given to you at birth, and you never know when it's going to be taken from you. So freaking use every ounce of it.
I love that. I love that death inspo. You know, because realistically, again, nobody makes it out alive, right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
So use your time wisely. I love that. Sal, thank you so much. Megan, thank you so much as always.
Thank you.
Everybody, create a great Monday, and you know what? Megan wants to give us a quote too. No, I'm just kidding.
I definitely don't tonight.
All right, guys. Happy Monday.